Yes, top of the morning to all you listeners. This is a special episode because at some point coming up soon, predictably, I'm predicting the end of the year. Well, not the very end, but like the last sort of quarter, the next couple of months, is coming out my brand new sort of ambient chill out album. Going to be called Ambient Code in Dream 32. Otherwise known as Acid 2 to the 5. Acid because ambient code in Dream, as you may have noticed, stands for acid. And 32, well, or 2 to the 5 because 32 is 2 to the power of 5, like 5D. Yeah, that's 32 tracks of it. It's 2.1 hours of just ambience. Well, not entirely ambience, there's the odd very chilled beat, but it's all down tempo, super chill. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, weird noise outside my house. I think it's down by the neighbours. It sounds like someone's knocked over a dustbin. It's probably a fox or a cat. Anyway, yeah, so this album is chilled. And it's got a special sort of result for me because I have made the odd chilled tune, but I've always thought, I mean, since I've, a little while back, I thought I struggled with chilled out music. I think as I have chilled out, I have managed, over the last few years, I've managed to chill in my artistry as well. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's definitely, it's not, maybe doesn't sound like Balls of Canada, but there's definitely a nod to them there. There's a lot of number stuff going on in the ordering of the tracks, the length of the tracks. So yeah, I'll just let you see that when you come check out the release in the end. But this is going to be an hour of me purely playing tracks from that, which aren't out yet, but exciting times will be soon. Yeah, oh, by the way, it will be written in the podcast description when I know when the release date is. So keep an eye, when you check this podcast out, it should say in the description, the release date. Check it out. So yeah, it'll be Deep and Beeper. We've got a few people on the featuring on the album. We got Ambient, my beautiful wife. We have Please Don't Tell Buddha, her best friend. Zach Z, who you might have heard of before. Jiff. And some aliases of myself. And I think that's everyone. It's basically what I did to make it was, well, I had a bunch of tracks I'd already made, like chilled, and then I came back to those that hadn't been released, and I took a load more of my old tunes and remixed them. Most sort of ones with chilled bits, possible bits to be chilled out. Anyway, without further ado, we can move into the first tune, which is Our Loyalty Lies with Spaceship Earth. And it's the Gaian System 1 edit featuring Ambient and Please Don't Tell Buddha. Yeah, this is my favourite one from the whole thing, I reckon. So we thought I'd start with that. See what you think. Alright, here's the vibe, and yes, starting now.
Maybe just trust in something beyond us.
Pure solar consciousness.
My heart is loud.
Reaching those moments through consciousness. Pure solar consciousness.
Maybe just trust in something beyond us. My soul is heavy, my heart is loud.
Reaching those moments through consciousness. Pure solar consciousness. Reaching those moments through consciousness. Pure solar consciousness. And looking down.
Yeah, ambient vibes there. Definitely fits the bill. Just a little notice, the lyrics there were written by Amp, my wife. This tune was originally on my debut trip hop album under the alias One Pac-Man, and it was she wrote her sort of lyrics, and it was very deep, poetic tune. And it's a bit less. It's ambient. It's chilled out. Well, the other one was chilled out, but I mean, it's spread out. You don't hear all the lyrics. You just hear the little bits and bobs in this version. It's very calming. I think I really like that myself. Hope you did too. Yeah, I'm trying to work out all that I've had to say, because I've sort of been thinking, I should say this, I should say that. Now it comes to it, I'm sort of forgetting. But let's move on for now. Maybe I'll come up with some stuff to chat about later. The next track will be Take Piano, Mash Piano, Eat Piano, Yum. The 2-minute recipe edit. It's a short track. There's a lot. On this album, it starts with very short tracks, about 1 minute, and then it builds up to all tracks in the middle are like about 5 minutes, and then it builds back down, goes back down to short tracks in like this sort of almost pyramid type shape, like length of tunes. It's just part of the sort of numerology, like fiddling with stuff in this album. Anyway, I'll let this 2-minute recipe of the take piano, mash piano, eat piano, yum. That was, I have to say, one of my favourite names I think I ever came up for a tune. If you can't guess, it's because there's piano sample that I fucked with. And this is a sort of reverso, tripped out even more edit, the 2-minute recipe edit. I'll just let it play now. Yeah, so that was take piano, mash piano, eat piano, yum. A 2-minute recipe edit. Next up, we have a track called Galactic Beat, the Dolphin Conspiracy edit. So this track is inspired by a old scientist who died in 2001. His name was John C. Lilly. He was an American physician, neuroscientist, psychoanalyst, psychonaut, philosopher, writer, and inventor. Yeah, he invented the sensory deprivation tank. He was very much about exploring the mind with tools rather than just talking or surmising stuff. He also talked to dolphins, which sounds mad, but he literally had tanks with dolphins, and they had like 40. They learned like 40 or 50 words. They could press their noses on the things, and yeah, that was pretty deep. And he was a psychonaut, which is a person after my heart, as I have been in my life. Earlier life definitely was. I considered myself that. Although later on I'm chilling now, definitely chilling. Yeah, it's getting old. Just a little bit. Anyway, let the tune play now. Galactic Beat, Dolphin Conspiracy edit. Oh, yeah, so it's him chatting with some other psychologist, and it's quite a chilled vibe. And yeah, I like the outro. The outro is good. It's trippy and fun with the sample. I'll let you have a listen now. Here we go.
Well, I've found in my own work on the media and in parapsychology that I'm very much guided by coincidences.
Right.
And I guess it's looking to coincidences as signs along the way that defines this relationship with what you've defined as echo.
Right. There's coincidence control. It's coincidence control what they do.
It seems to me as if your concept of echo is a way of modeling perhaps a mechanism behind what Jung has defined as synchronicity.
That's right. Jung defined synchronicity only in a good fashion in his introduction to I Ching. And he uses the term
meaningful coincidence.
It's a representation, a misrepresentation.
And yet here we are misrepresenting to each other in order that we can learn from these lies.
Right. Now, if you use it as bad as it is otherwise.
So, in other words, for example, when you talk about echo, when you talk about perhaps going into an inner reality using a sensory isolation tank, which is one of the other technologies in which you pioneered, or
1954, I've been.
Or using a number of different molecules which can be used for this purpose, or mystical disciplines. When one enters into these realities, each set of instructions carries with it usually a belief system.
Yeah.
And basically what you're saying is that all of these belief systems are wrong, but one needs to entertain or to hold the belief system in order to follow through the instructions.
That's right. Our brains are so small we have to do this.
So the belief system itself becomes a tool that we work with, and then eventually we have to let go of.
aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist.
Today we are going to explore the province of the mind.
Indeed, the province of the mind there being explored by John C. Lilly. And that tune, if I'm honest. I think it does explore the mind, and the sample at the end's fun, isn't it? Yeah, it's because he's being interviewed on some sort of, sounds a bit 80s or even 70s sort of psychological show in America. Yeah, I love that tune actually. It's I made it quite a long time ago, but it just never got released, and I just slightly tweaked it and bunged it on this album. So I think it's definitely sort of ambient. Not ambient, down tempo. The next one is a little short one. I recently got myself started to collect some modules again, and I have a special module by Make Noise called the Morphogene, and it's like a little sampler, and you can put it in a loop and chop it and then rearrange fuck with it. It's probably the easiest way to explain, rather than go through a bunch of technical information about the rearrangement and chopping and reverse onus and all the stuff it does to morphing to the sample that you run through it. So this is a little excerpt of something I've used that to create. It's called Gödel Logic. Wait, how do you pronounce his name? I think it's Gödel. It's called Gödel Logic. Cannot not be not unbroken. It's something called Gödel's. Jesus Christ! Usually I can pronounce this. There's something called Gödel's incompleteness theorem in maths, which is fascinating if complicated. But the basic understanding of it is it's trippy. Because he went out and proved using maths that maths, any way you ever set maths up with initial things like 1 equals 1 or 1 plus 1 always equals 2, etc. Any set of rules you lay down and create a system of mathematics, he proved there will always be inconsistencies, paradoxes, and it won't be completable. I believe I'm probably murdering the subtleties of it, and it's complicated to explain. I'm not sure I understand myself, but it's just a weird thought that he sort of proved that it was weird and would never be able to make total sense, which I just think is a brilliant thing. So, and it's called Gödel Logic Cannot Not Be Not Unbroken, because it's a lot of knots, cancelling knots, sort of a play on logic, isn't it? Sort of linguistic logic. Now here's the track. I'll let it run now. Here we go. It's the Twiddling the Modular Stuff track. Here it is. Nice short little experiment there. Moving on, it is coming in any second and playing will be Jam 2049, Run the Blades edit, featuring Jiff. That is my good mate from Rumsey, although he's moved away temporarily, hopefully. On guitar, he is a bit of a wizard on the guitar, likes to play some vibes. This is a chilled one that we did together, remixed again. Actually, no, the original version of Jam 2049 wasn't that chilled. It was a bit like bassy and dubsteppy. But this is a chilled remix. Here we are, Jam 2049, Run the Blades edit with Jiff on guitar.
cells.
Interlinked.
Interlinked.
What's it like to hold the hand of someone you love? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do they teach you how to feel finger to finger? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do you long for having your heart interlinked? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do you dream about being interlinked?
Interlinked.
What's it like to hold your child in your arms? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Do you feel that there's a part of you that's missing? Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Within cells, interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Why don't you say that 3 times? Within cells, interlinked.
Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked.
We're done.
So it may seem obvious, but what I forgot to mention was Jiff's guitar was ran through a million effects and tweaked and fucked with by me, yours truly, under Jiffer's collab sort of supervision as well. He actually brought an effects pedal that he had to add to the mix, which was do you know what? It was an awesome effects pedal, if I'm honest. I think we even just got some other tunes out of it, as I recall. Some effects were just boom, and we just recorded them and rearranged, and there was a tune. Yeah, that was a bit of a freestyle one, actually. What was that called? That's the Seaside, a higher dimensional record thing. Little short one, which I'm not. Well, there's no remix, or it's not on this album. It was on Escape. It's Lost in the Impossible Puzzle release. Check it out if you like. Me and Jiff there doing a short chill trip, as we do. So. Yeah, that was Jam 2049, Run the Blades edit with Jiffer. Well, Jiff, as he is musically called, not a F, there's no foot on the end. So the next track up is Coded Language Audio Pattern Decrypt Key, featuring the 5D Droid. This is specially made for this album. There's a few tracks that aren't remixes or ones I'd already done, but were specially made specifically when I came around to... from scratch when I came around to making the album. This is one of them. I love it. At the beginning it sounds to me like it's that warm-up of orchestras. When everyone's kind of entering the room, theatre or whatever, and they're just warming up. It's quite I've always loved that sound, and there's a little bit of that at the beginning. And then also it features the 5D Droid, who, if you're not familiar with, is me using computer software to make those chat voices, and then sort of slightly tweaking them afterwards in live. And yeah, this one is a trip, as I'll say. It's the 5D Droids chatting about the album, sort of self-referentially. Anyway, let's check it out. Coded Language Audio Pattern Decrypt Key, which is a long name, but quite a cool one. Here we go.
Mathematical structure. This audio encoded data stream and information transmission device virus encryptors is not crafted mathematical structure. This audio encoded data stream and information coded data stream and information transmission. This audio encoded data stream and information transmitter stream and information. Coded data data stream and information transmission.
This audio encoded data.
Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic. Information, theoretical, abstract. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic.
Data
Speed of
stream and
text
information
decreasing, anti-crescendo, solid inference pattern, 5D, 5D.
Transmission device. Encoded data stream. Information.
stream and information transmission. Stream and information transmission. Stream and information.
This music, theoretical, abstract. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content. Speed of tracks decreasing, anti-crescendo, solid imprint pattern. 5D, find pattern, 5D. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content. Speed of tracks decreasing, anti-crescendo, solid imprint pattern. 5D, higher D, 5 pattern, 5D, higher D evolution.
This audio encoded data stream and information transmission device virus encrypted is not crafted. Mathematical structure carefully crafted. Device chaotic records, infinite chaos, order code, cipher patterns, numerical triad.
This audio encoded data stream and information transmission device virus encrypted is not crafted. Mathematical structure carefully crafted. Intricate slice of akashic records, infinite chaos, order code, cipher patterns, numerical triad. Numerical triad. This audio encoded. This audio
Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content. This music, theoretical, abstract. Find patterns in sound, feel the harmonic content.
Device virus encrypted is not crafted. Mathematical
Speed
stream
of
and
tracks
information
decreasing,
transmission.
anti-crescendo, solid imprint pattern. 5D, 5 pattern, 5D.
This audio encoded data stream and information transmission device virus encrypted is not crafted. Mathematical structure carefully crafted. Intricate slice of akashic records, infinite chaos, order code, cipher patterns, numerical triad. Thematical structure. Audio encoded data stream and information transmission device virus encrypted is not numerical triads. This audio encoded data stream and information transmitted data stream numerical triad. Audio encoded data stream and
patterns in sound, feel the solid imprint pattern.
Trippy, 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 but what do you come to expect from me? Yeah, just as a reminder, in case you've got, this podcast is all from an upcoming Chill Out 2.1 hour ambient album from me, Deep and Beeper, called Ambient Code in Dream 32. So just check it out when it does come out, if you like this stuff. You can find the release date in the name of this podcast, the podcast information bit, that comes underneath it. Anyway, on to the next track. This is Synth Errors, Split Personality Cut, the Gimme Sleepers edit. The reason it's called Split Personality Cut is because this is original track, Synth Errors, before this remix, which is playing now, was me versus my Deep and Beeper versus Armour, my other alias, for like dubstep. So it was a bit like, I'm playing myself with tunes. But anyway, here we go. Listen to it here now. Bang. Yeah, 5D, Deep and Beeper back here. Yeah, so I was just going to mention, to the trained ear, you may have noticed, or just not known, but wondered why it sounds like it does. The tracks are not currently mastered. I've run them through some basic, sort of very basic mastering here, just to, as I'm going to play them to you. But they will be professionally tweaked and polished by Nat from Ambient for release time, so they'll sound even better if you're enjoying them now. So yeah, okay, we're getting towards the end. Well, actually I say that, not quite. It's 45 minutes-ish at the moment, so we're not quite at the end, about 3/4 of the way through. The next up is number 1 in a better multiverse. And there's a sort of code of characters, version, and then it goes version. And there's a few number 1s in the better multiverses, and then code version, because of course there's a lot of multiverses in my theory of, technically there isn't, there's one multiverse. But who knows, maybe I've just invented a new bit of cosmology. Also, this is madly the most popular track of mine ever. Well, the original version of this one. Yeah, it's kicking butt in YouTube in America, which is nice. Yeah, it's the most popular track I ever did. Helped us get to over 1 million streams in total, which was a nice little milestone to reach in musical creation. Of course, 1 billion then I'd be like Kanye and actually be able to make a big living, but I don't really care. I just want to do what I want to do. Couldn't write a pop tune if I tried, I reckon, but I'm not going to try anyway. But here we go. This is the future-proof edit of number 1 in a better multiverse. It looks like a code, but it's MV Oneness is Life version, with the letters replaced with the numbers and stuff. But in case you wonder, it's meant to be Oneness is Life. Here's the track. I'll see you on the flip. Whoop.
1999 AD. More than a generation away. And yet dreams travel faster than light. And even arch are like this, the oldest, strongest natural shape known. Hexagon modules that grow with a family's size and interests. Programmed into the home computer and fed into teaching machines.
Me too. How about lunch?
How about 2 minutes?
Okay, 2 minutes and counting. 120, 119.
All right, but you better not show up with a dirty face.
115. 113. 112.
Mike, how about chicken salad?
Yeah.
Cheese omelet?
Cheeseburger, French fries, and a nice cold bottle of beer.
I'll see.
Computer know everything. I mean like how many times to exercise and all.
I haven't the faintest notion. That's just too much for your old mother to understand.
Oh, I'm not so old.
Well, I'll be 44 next year.
That's not so old.
Not anymore.
What year is it now? I forgot.
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, defo trippy track there. So next we have The Coda, Infinity and Bass Edit. I love this one. It's pretty deep and trippy, and it's got the drum and bass sort of sounding bass. If you notice, quite a lot of those tunes have the sort of big sub sine waves or sort of slightly Reese. I can't pronounce people's names there. Reese. I don't know if it's his name, but well, it is his name. But Reese bass in them, because they just have a nice place in my heart, and you can make chill tracks with that sort of thing too. And the next is The Coda then, featuring 5D and me, because I'm chatting. It was an original track where it's all about this infinite library. It's very cool. It was a bit of old literature that I remashed and like brought into the 21st century by just remashing it. It's just deep. It's really trippy. It's about an endless library. Like if literally the library went on forever, and every combination of words that you could ever have, or just letters, random letters, was contained somewhere. I'll let you look into it if you want. The original track is The Coda. Yeah, so I'm just going to let that play now. And yeah, here we go. It's The Coda, Infinity and Bass Edit. Before and after the endless spectrum of eternal time. Every endless spectrum of eternal time. Laid out all to discover and travel through. This is the kind in which chaos lies. Written before and after the endless spectrum. This is every in which chaos lies. This is the kind written before and after the endless spectrum of eternal time. Yeah, that's chilled, that's deep, minimal. I like that. But I do say so myself. So the penultimate track now is Void equals Void, the Void 222 edit. It's a bit of an audit one, very short. We're almost at the end of this hour. And yeah, it's been nice to have you listen and me to talk about my album. So I'll just hand over to Void equals Void, the Void 222 edit. And then I'll be back to introduce the last track, the end. Okay, so we've come to the end of this podcast, episode 24, the Ambient Code in Dream 32 album preview podcast, I guess you could call it. Yeah, so I'm going to play the last track now. It's a little short one. It's actually the last track on the album, and it's called This Is The End. My set, Omega -1 friend, the end, with Omega -1 in brackets, in case you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Remember that tune by The Doors, This Is The End, My Only Friend, the end? Well, I replaced Only Friend with set of Omega -1. Now, that's a bit of nerdy maths, which I'll quickly explain just before the track comes in and I say goodbye. A set is a group of things, and Omega is the set of everything that could ever exist. So if you take everything that could ever exist and take away one person, the only friend, then that's what you have. It's the opposite of only friend, the end, because there's not actually an opposite of only I can think of in English. I had to nerd it up. Anyway, here's the track. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want to look excited about the album. And check it when it comes out. All right, goodbye.